Hi everyone, it's Phoebe Angeline here at etrailer.com, and today we are looking at our Yakima Ridgeback 5 bike rack here on our 2017 Toyota RAV4. This is an awesome bike rack if you are looking for something to carry multiple bikes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bikes. So if you got a full family or a bunch of friends and you all want to go out for a bike ride, this might be the bike rack option for you. So the way our bike is mounted to this bike rack here is by 1, 2 straps here at the top, as well as this strap down here that acts as our anti-sway cradle. So as I take off this third zip strap that's holding it in, you can see how it's made a big difference in terms of the sway. So when I want to take my bike off, I like to start with that bottom one. Then I go here to the top, just press those levers, lift that zip strip up, and I put them in my pocket so I don't lose them. And from here, you're just going to grab your bike, lift it up, and through the different cradles, just like that. And then you are on the way, or you are ready to go for a bike ride. Now with that bike out of the way, let's take a look at the cradles themselves. So we have here these cradles that have this nice rubber bottom. And if you want your zip strips, you just ratchet them down. The zip strips themselves have this nice rubber on the inside, and that helps protect your bike's frame. And over here we have the cradle, and let's get that back into position right over there. See how it ratchets down to secure your bike. Now one of its features is that it can tilt away with the bike off, and to do so you're going to have to pull this lever right over here. You may have to push forward first and then pull down, and that allows you to tilt this down. So if you have a hatch right over here that you want to open, here on our RAV4, you can see there's plenty of space between the door and the bike rack, allowing you to get in there, grab whatever you need for your bike ride without having to take the bike rack off. To lift it back up, you just lift it back up and it snaps into place. Now this does carry 5 bikes. Let's take some measurements because this adds a little bit of length to our SUV. Measuring from our back bumper all the way to the end of the bike rack, which is way over here by our bottle openers, it sits at 45.5 inches. That's a fair amount of length, but again, you are carrying around 5 bikes. Note that our cradles here are sitting 5 inches apart from middle to middle, so that's how much space you have between your bikes. Now you can lower that distance, and to do so, there's a lever up here. Just lift up, and it lowers the arms just like that. Big difference compared to when it was out there. Let's take some measurements now. From our back bumper to the end of our bike rack, which would be basically by the end of the cradles, it sits at 14 inches. You definitely want it in this position when you are driving around town. Closest point between our bike rack and our vehicle would actually be by the mast, and that sits at 7 inches from that mast to our back bumper. If you do have a spare tire on your RAV4, you can also measure from this upright mast, and it sits at 10 inches from our back bumper to the closest point of our upright mast. Now this does fit into different types of hitches. Let's take a look down here. We have it here in our 2-inch hitch, and it comes with its own sleeve. It also fits into 1.25 inch. If you have a class 2 1.25 inch hitch, it's a tool-free install. All you need to do is pop this in and then tighten it down right over here in this knob, and you can lock this knob as well. We have it locked, so that allows it to free spin. And if you want, you can also get an integrated cable lock, which attaches right over there, and you can use the same key system as our knob over here, which activates the anti-rattle mechanism. Speaking of the anti-rattle mechanism, I have it tightened down. So you can see here that when I shake the bike rack, I'm mainly shaking the vehicle at that point with that mechanism fully engaged. One thing to note is that this bike rack has a weight capacity of 150 pounds total, but it has a single bike capacity of 40 pounds per bike. So let's say you have two 40-pound bikes and then a bunch of smaller or lighter bikes. As long as you don't go over the 150-pound total weight capacity, then you are fine. So my thoughts about this bike rack is I like how it works with our RAV4. If you fill it up, have all your passengers in there. There's 5 of you driving around. You can bring all your bikes in there. This tilts away, allowing you to access your hatch. You can see as well that your tail lights are not covered here. You sort of are covering your license plate and camera, but if you look inside, it's not completely covered and you can still sort of see behind there. Also, you can see through your rear window, so that's great. So that was a look at the Yakima Ridgeback 5 bike rack here on our 2017 Toyota RAV4.
Here it is on our test course. We'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Next, we're at the alternating speed bumps, which we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or pothole or driving over uneven pavement. Finally, we have the full speed bumps, where we'll see the up and down action, which is just like driving out of a parking lot, garage, or driveway.